back. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another edition. Hope everybody's having a good week. Hope everybody's having a good week. Let's wait for some people to show up here. Dropped my reel on the ground. Got some scuff marks on it. Dropped the reel. Dropped my reel on the ground. Got some good old scuff marks. Welcome. Seeing what's going on here. Get some people going in. Hopefully you guys had a good week. Had a good weekend, should I say. Had a good weekend. Not week. We'll be having got another tournament coming up here this weekend. So, got a little leader tied on here. How long this goes. Boom. Welcome, whoever just joined. Welcome. Or just joined and disappeared. It's like, hey, how you doing? Probably not going to be having a lot of people on tonight because of what all happened yesterday down here in Nashville. So, just going to have to wait and see how many people pop in here, how many people don't pop in here. But it's understandable if people don't because we had some craziness going on. So, we shall see. Getting things situated here. Friday night, I'm going to have to get some situated for Saturday. Oh, I got syrup in my beard. Welcome, whoever just joined. I got syrup in my beard. That sucks. Someone joined, someone left, someone joined, someone left. Welcome, whoever just joined. Oh, yeah. What a Tuesday. What a good old Tuesday. What a good old Tuesday it's going to be. We were going to have a viewer question Q&A today. But who knows how many people are going to pop in today. But we shall see. It's about that time where I'm going to have to bust out that wacky rig. Oh, it's coming. That wacky rig is coming out. It's going to be coming out. I'm going to have to go ahead and get that ready. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I went out was it yesterday? Yeah, I went out yesterday for hours. And I did horrible. It was one of my horrible days, which was not good. People hammered them Sunday. I did well Saturday, but people hammered them Sunday, and I went out yesterday and nothing. I almost got skunked. I caught one little dink. Oh, excuse me. One little dink. That's all I got yesterday. But got the Series 1 Kistler all raring to go. Got it tied up with some braid for some top water. A little bit of fluorocarbon there, you know what I mean? So it doesn't get all tangled. But boom. Nice shiny Series 1. 7:3 to 1 gear ratio, in case you were wondering. So just in case if I need that to do anything else, I can go ahead. I don't need to just use it specifically for top water, but I do have my Daiwa Tatula CT for top water. That was an 8:1 to 1. But it's going to be about that time soon. Buzzbaits, poppers, frogs, toads, whatever you want to use. It's going to be about that time. Very, 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 very soon. People are catching some buzzbait fish. Not many, but they are. I would say spinnerbait's going to be picking up here big time too. I'm going to need to make sure that I got a good 5/8 ounce spinnerbait. Nice size one with a double willow leaf. That should be on a rod in my boat, and then I should also have a wacky rig tied up on the boat too as well. But like I was telling you guys didn't see it the last time, but it's arrived. It definitely arrived, and I was using it Saturday. The new Kistler Helium. New Helium series. And of course I got the Kistler reel yet too on top of that on my drop shot. This thing is just ridiculous. I love it. It's the best rod that I've had yet. Best rod that I have out of all of my Kistler rods, and it even beats my KLX, which is like one of my favorite rods that I might turn into my shallow cranking rod once that swim bait bite dies off. Once that swim bait bite dies off, and then it's gonna be nothing but where's that? This little guy right here is gonna turn into my square bell crankbait rod, the light, medium, heavy KLX series. This is gonna be turned into for my swim bait rod, my little swim bait rod, right into my shallow water cranking rod. Dale, what is going on, buddy? What is going on? Welcome, welcome, welcome. We shall see what's going on here in a little bit. So give you guys a heads up, since you're in here, not everybody's in here. I know there's a lot of services and things that people are going to be getting to tonight because of the shooting and everything else. So I was not expecting a whole lot of people to pop in here tonight, especially local. But I did get monetized today. I'm officially monetized on YouTube. Boom. Took me a little bit, but I finally got there. Which is pretty cool, so we'll see how that goes. I don't know what's up with those little... Hold on a second, I'm gonna get off this Wi-Fi here. Wi-Fi. But, yeah. I got monetized, so now I don't... I got all those little goofy gadgets and all that stuff, you know, where you can have those super chat people and blah, 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 where you chat in that chat, and then all of a sudden your like name pops up. I don't know. I have to read into it more, but I really don't know too much about it. But thanks to all you guys watching the videos and everything else and putting my stuff out there. I appreciate that. Went a long way. Finally got it. I went from like, I can't even tell you, like 600 subscribers to like over 1,500 right now. Almost 1,000 in like, I'll say 6 months. 1,000 in 6 months, which is pretty good for me anyway. But I want to say thank you to you guys for that one. But when are you gonna come out fishing, Dale? When are you gonna come out fishing? Done this series 1 with the carbon fiber reel. Boom. That Kistler series 1, man. That's all ready to go. Got some 20-pound braid on there. Boom. Sucker's raring to go. Raring to go for that top water bite. I'm excited. So when are you going to come out, Dale? I know you're in there. When are you going to come out fishing with me? Go back out in the river? Or you want to hit up the lake? What are you thinking? River, lake? You fish Old Hickory at all? I know you fish the river. But do you fish Old Hickory at all? Oh, yeah. I know. Something on my chat that he can't hear. Is he even responding? No, he hasn't responded yet. I'm all waiting on this crankbait, dude. This lipless to take off, and it has not. Bassmaster Classic was okay, but of the 5 I've been to, this one is the least favorite of all the ones I've been to. Yeah, I heard it was kind of crappy. A lot of people have said that the Bassmaster was like really not that good. So you weren't the first one. I've seen people post online about it, that they were not impressed. Not impressed at all. But we shall see. We shall see next year. It was crappy. I figured. I didn't hear anything good about it yet. People thought there was going to be a lot more bait vendors and stuff like that, but apparently there wasn't as much as what people thought there was going to be. Oh, excuse me. So when are you going to get out, Dale, and go fishing with the Cumberland River bed? All right. We'll see. I wonder how bad it's going to be after this rain this week. I could probably get out there Saturday for like a little while. It's not bad. I just can't go nuts. I'm not going to take a whole lot of stuff with me on there, because I got to get back, spend some time with the wife and all that stuff, because I got to head out of here Saturday and drive. I have to head out of here Saturday and drive out to Dale Hollow, stay there the night. So, I really wouldn't know what to. I'd probably just bring crankbaits. I might tie on I don't know if I want to tie on a wacky rig. I don't know what they're doing right now, because I haven't been out there in well over a month. So I have no idea what they're doing right now. So I'll just probably bring crankbait, drop shot, and I'd say my swim bait. I'd probably bring maybe. See, I don't want to put a wacky rig on until after this tournament. I could try a wacky rig, depending, but I don't know the current though. So, people have been catching them still heavy up top though. And I know all those big ones and everything else where I was catching them at, they're not going to move far from there. So we just got to figure out where the spots in the largemouth are. I would love to catch some largemouth. Wonder if they'd be up more in the Stones River. I don't know. Because if we're hitting something like the Stones River and all that stuff, then I'd end up putting a wacky rig on. You know what I mean? Because now I'll cast by logs, this and that, and I know that they'll probably end up chewing up that in a drop shot. That's the biggest area that I could think that's slow moving. That's out there where largemouth and spots would end up being. You know, you might be able to pluck a smallmouth in there in the stones too as well. But I think that would probably be our best bet. What if we went out? Finesse football J2, yeah. What are you thinking? Put in at Heartland Park, and then just head up, just fish upstream at the Stones River. We can go ahead and try that out. You know what I mean? Because it's slower moving. Because you think if they're going to go, that's the largest slow moving section that I know of the Cumberland River. Smallmouth can creep up there, sauger can creep up there, walleye, whatever. Maybe even catch a trout. I don't know. But I don't got. Yeah, I do have a trout stamp. But yeah, that is what I would think would probably be our best bet. Is just hang out in the stones all day, just travel up a little further, and I guess just float down. Make it easy on ourselves. Well, we have to see. I mean, I really don't think Percy Priest is going to be letting out much water, to be honest. You know what I mean? Like, I really don't think it's going to rain that much that they're going to have to empty out and have that sucker flowing real fast. But there's a lot of wood, a lot of timber, a lot of logs, so you can catch some decent spots and some smallmouth and some largemouth in there. So that could be a possibility of Heartland. Put in there. I'd say 6 a.m. Try it 6 a.m. That would probably be our best bet. Put in there at 6. If you meet me there at 6, and then we just drive up slowly. Yeah, I think that's what I'm doing. Is I'll end up having a wacky rig tied on. I could use that. I could use the wacky rig too on Dale Hollow. I never thought about that. I'm gonna keep that on. Use the wacky rig on Dale Hollow. Yeah, true. Very true. Yeah, I'm not worried about that. I'll end up doing that. I'll just put the wacky rig on. I'm not gonna take this. I don't feel like retying and doing all this stuff, so I'm probably not gonna bring my swim bait, especially if we're gonna be in there. I'll just bring my crankbait, my drop shot, and I'll just bring my wacky rig. I think that'll be my best bet. I only need 3. Well, I got a swim jig too, just in case. I'm not worried about that one. And I got a big swim bait too. I can maybe try that. All right, 6 a.m. is good for you. That'll work. Because I can't stay out all day. You know what I mean? I could stay out for maybe about 5 hours. But that should give us enough time and all that stuff. I'd get out and spend some time with the wife before I head out of here. But we shall see. It's going to be my second event. I'm nervous again. Very nervous again. I think the water temperature is going to be about the same because these next couple nights are going to be, I think, in the 30s. 30s and low 40s. Oh, man, appreciate that. Yeah, everyone has. A couple people have my plug knockers, but I was just like, whatever. But I think Dale Hollow, if I'm not mistaken, is probably going to be around the same temperature that it was before when I was out there, because I've feeling that these past couple days warmed it up. But we're going to have tonight, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights that are going to be cooler. So that temperature might be the same. So I'm like hoping, man. I only can hope. I'm just going for one fish. After that, try to get another. But that's my whole goal. It's just one fish. You know, I would love, that would be a dream to place in the top 10. I mean, shoot, I mean, that'd be great to win it again. But, you know, more than likely, it ain't going to happen. So, I don't know who I'm going to be having as my driver. I don't know what pick I'm going to get or draw. So, I don't know where he's going to fish. But I am ready, though. Crankbaits, all that stuff. I'm going to bring a wacky rig. So, in case he's shallow, or not shallow, but he's by bluff, so I could just let it fall down. Because you never know. Smallmouth can get a wacky rig too. Do I think it'll have good watercolor? Well, I mean, if you watch, it's when I was fishing last, it was in the low 4s, and I think the lowest was in December. I think it was like 395 or something like that, but it's sitting at 393 right now. So the Cumberland's kind of low. Right now. So with it being low, and they want to spawn, Old Hickory's been sitting around, 54, 53. So I have a feeling that river's going to be in the 50s. Well, we'll find out. Dang. #1 fan. Look at my wife. Boom. Wow. That is the first donation that I have gotten. Of course, with my wife. But that was actually pretty neat to see that pop up. I appreciate that, babe. I'll give you the $10 back here when I get off. I'll give you $10 back when I get off. That's actually pretty cool. Like, I've never seen it live. You know what I mean? I think that's pretty cool now, man. That was actually pretty neat. I appreciate that. That was my first. About time. You missed it, Project. I got my first donation on my channel. If you go up and read the chat, it was my wife. My wife just donated $9.99. Saturday, if you're not busy, I'm her #1 fan. If you're not busy, I'm taking Dale out Saturday. We're going to go hit up Heartland Park, and we're going to go up the Stones River Saturday. Well, if we're in the Stones and largemouth and spots, they're gonna be around wood. If they're trying to spawn, now's the time to spawn. And Stones will probably be pretty warm. Warmer, should I say. So I told Dale, that's right, you work on Saturdays. That sucks. You know what even sucks even worse? At the end of April, I have to go work Monday through Friday. I have to have a real person schedule. I'm shedding a tear. Here. I gotta work a real person schedule. I'm not cool anymore. Well, maybe one day fishing can be my job. That is my goal. That is my dream. Maybe one day I could be like, yeah, I'm going out to work and I have my phone, I have all my stuff. I'm out there on the boat. Cameron, what's up, buddy? What is going on? Welcome. But yeah, I don't know what else you could do on this. I even know that there's other little chat emojis or something like that. I don't know how all this works, but once I actually figure it out, I'll be able to let you guys know everything else that comes along with that. But I will say, if it wasn't for you guys, I would not have this channel monetized. I appreciate anyone that's in here right now. I appreciate it. All the help to get me to this. That last part over the hump. I don't know how that came about. Like, I just got an extra, I think, 1,700 watch hours that just wasn't accounted for. This, and this. How do I like the James Franklin? I like Benjamin Franklin. I like Benjamins. I do. Up there in good old Philadelphia. I'm just kidding. That's Abe Lincoln there, buddy. Just so you know. But anyway. Oh, all right. I'm like thinking like James Franklin. I'm like, what? That's who I thought you were talking about, but I wasn't sure. I don't know if there was a boat down here. James Franklin. Because it sounds like a boat. Franklin is a great, phenomenal recruiter. The guy knows his stuff to get people in here and to get recruits. Problem is, his coaching skills are worthless. People that he has for their staff, I could tell you the same exact 9 plays they run all game long. Like, it's just ridiculous. Like, they run the same plays. Go into halftime, come back out, they have a lead. Well, how'd you lose? How'd you lose at the very end against Ohio State? Oh, they didn't change nothing up. They knew what was coming. All you gotta do is write down his. Like, the guy gets me frustrated. Like, his phenomenal recruit. Like, to get people there, I will give him credit. He should be Penn State's recruiter and get a normal diehard coach. Diehard coach. You're never going to have a coach like Joe Paterno. It's never going to happen. You're not going to have a coach like that. Penn State will never see a coach like that. Those old school coaches, you will never see coaches like them anymore. Bobby Bowden, all those older coaches, you won't. You won't anymore. It's just crazy. But hopefully this with the guys that Penn State has could be pretty good this year. You're a Vandy fan. Well, I'm sorry for you. I feel bad for you. You got a good baseball team, but that's about it. I'm surprised from moving down here. I used to make fun of, a lot of these teams down here in the South because they're always horrible. But since I moved to Pennsylvania, since I moved from Pennsylvania to here, Tennessee actually has a football team. Oh, they actually have a basketball team. And their baseball is actually somewhat legit. I was surprised. I was very, 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 very surprised. But since you're not, well, excuse me. There you go. In case you guys are wondering, this is the new Series 1, Kistler Series 1 reel. 7-3-1. I already got braid on this, top water. Carbon fiber, raring to go. Raring to go to fire away. In case if you guys are looking for decent reels, they're on sale right now. A lot of these reels are on sale. So I can't tell you anything about the chromium, so don't ask any questions about that. I have no idea because they do not make a left-handed reel. I'm still frustrated about that they brought that reel out and did not make a left-handed reel. But I think what I'm going to do Saturday, I'm going to bring a swim jig. I'll bring a chatterbait, probably a chatterbait mini. I'll bring that. I'll bring a drop shot and a wacky rig. And my crankbait. That's all I'm going to bring. Everything else is going to sit here, so I don't got to retie and do this, and this Saturday night. Because I don't want to go ahead and booger this one up. This is already set. Swim bait rod. This is only going to stay my swim bait rod until these little swim baits, this spring are gone, and then it's going into my shallow cranking. KLX is going to turn right into my shallow cranking. Light, medium, heavy. Got a perfect reel for that one. I'm ready to go. I am raring to go. And I'm going to put the wacky rig on. The wacky rig is going right back on the dock skipper. Going back on this sucker right here. Somehow, some way, this is my favorite rod out of all my rods that I have is this little dock skipper. I think it's a 6'3". Yeah, 6'3". Light, medium, heavy. So it's got a decent sized backbone, but oh, and in case of you guys are wondering, I got the email today. The Helium series, even though I just got that one, the Helium series just came out with 6-foot rods and a 7-foot rods too, even bait casting rods that are out there now for sale. I just got the email. I think they got like a 6'3", a 6'6", a 6'9", a 7, a couple 7s. You can have light, medium, heavy. Then you can have your medium, heavy. And they even have their other newer action, which is medium, heavy, heavy, which is a 4.5 power. It's a medium, heavy, heavy. Or it's a heavy, medium, heavy. One of those. It's not a heavy rod. It's still a medium, heavy, but it's on their heavy side, which is a 4.5 power. They're 5 in powers, or they're heavy rods. So just in case you're wondering if you ever went on that website, just to give you a heads up. But anyway, so yeah, this tournament this weekend, just gonna bring the same exact stuff that I did the last time, and just depends on where we go, who I got, what he's gonna do. I'll find out Saturday night, probably around 6:30, 7 o'clock, and that's that. I'm just gonna bring my crankbait rod. Gonna bring my jerkbait again, just for Dale. Hey Dale, if you watched that video, buddy, I did catch my first bass was on a jerkbait. How about them apples? I've never ever had that on the boat since you've seen my videos. I've never had a jerkbait on this boat that I've ever brought one on, and I did catch one on it. Because I seen what he was doing, and he couldn't get it deeper. But I was getting mine down far enough, and I had the slow sink on there, 6 cent slow sink. So, and I knew when I was getting it down there, I could feel when I was ripping it through the grass. I'm like, ooh, I'm down there far enough. But I'll bring that around, depending where he's at, to see what we can do. But I will bring that rod. Don't have confidence in it, but it's a just in case rod. You know what I mean? For me, it's just in case. I don't like using a jerkbait rod. One of these days, I just got to go out and just take a jerkbait out there and just do it all day, just to get used to it, to get confidence in it. But that ain't me. But I am going to bring it. My whole confidence bait's right here. This is my confidence bait. Little old swim baits. And a drop shot. For now, I didn't get to fish Dale Hollow with a crankbait because we were too deep. I didn't bring any, you know. I might even do that. Speaking about that, because it just popped in my head. I didn't bring any deep diving crankbaits. So I might end up bringing a 250 MD, or I don't even know if I have a 400 MD. What is going on? Since you just popped in here, I officially got monetized. It officially went through. It actually went through in one day. It popped up yesterday, and I did all my stuff, and today it's officially through. So I want to say thank you to all you guys for making that happen. Thank you for making that happen. So I don't know all the odds and ends with all this stuff yet, blah, blah, blah. With those little emojis, those little chat things, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know how all that stuff works. You know, I just got to go through YouTube videos and figure out how all this stuff works. But did everything that I needed to do to get this channel up and running. But it is where it is because of all you guys. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate that immensely. But That's one step of the way there. That is just one step to this madness. I got 60 more steps to go until I can officially say I'm not going back to work at my job anymore. This is going to be my job. So that's step one. Step two is trying to place top 10 in a bunch of tournaments. That's step two. Step three is get the regionals, which I already got there. What is up, Kyle? What is going on? What is going on? Since you just popped in, I'll let you know as well if you just popped in. I finally got monetized. So thank you, because I know you're in my chats. You're also commenting on my videos and this and that. So I appreciate it. Just want to give you that info. But like I said, try to make top 10 the rest of this year. Somehow, some way, just catch one fish, then try to catch another, but try to place top 10 in all of them. I appreciate it. And maybe win something at the end and get to regionals and do good there. Excuse me, pick up a couple sponsors. And go from there from this year. See how everything works. See how everything works out. Maybe have a new boat by next year. When the 2024s come out, go with the 2023 because they should be on reduced price. So we shall see. So I want to put a boat in there yet too, and then do this series again, but as a boater. See how I can do as a boater, and then after that, make the next step up. And if I start winning and win enough money, try to see if I can take the next step up to go to the Toyota series. That'll be my next. That'll be my next step. And if I could do stuff there, start learning all these electronics that I plan on having, then that would be great. But there's a lot of work to be done until that point. You still didn't get your video done from that weekend? Kyle, your video from that weekend's not done yet? Apparently. And in my upcoming videos, I gotta get this bait to work, dude. I can't get anything to bite this lipless crankbait right now. I'm stuck. Somehow, some way, they're not biting this on Old Hickory right now. They're not biting that crankbait, and I got it. Dang. I appreciate that, Josh. I appreciate that. Dang. My GoPro took a dump on me. I got that. I appreciate that, Josh. Thanks, buddy. My stuff is the problem area right now. All right. Oh, you got to shoot on your phone. I appreciate that, Josh. Appreciate that. But, yeah. So we shall see where this all goes. I'm going to have to ask again to see if I can film this. But hopefully the gentleman that I have, that's my boater, will allow me to film it again. Because it was pretty cool. Hopefully it allows me to film him too as well. I'm not going to film, where we're driving to, this, and this, you know what I mean? Because I'm not doing that. But when we get there, you know what I mean? That I will show us fishing. Hopefully if he allows that. But, hopefully it'll be a great video again. Hopefully it'll be some decent content. Hopefully I can catch some fish. And we shall see where I stand. Oh, you won't be fishing this one? I appreciate it. I need all the luck that I can. I mean, that would be great to have a top 10 finish, man. I would love to have a top 10 finish. just to keep points, going. Anything 10 or below is what I'm shooting for, but I'm gonna at minimum I'm gonna need is 3 fish is what I already know. I mean it'll be great to have 5 again, but to keep track this time, just so you guys know, because I couldn't keep track. I didn't know right about. I'm just judging it by holding the fish. Know what I mean? I was just judging the whole. I'm talking, all right, I'm around 10, 14. But I bought this. Points are key. Yes, they are. I bought this to take with me. So now I can keep track of all my fish in there. So I know around the exact weight that I have. So when I go ahead and put them all in there, I can keep track of close to what I'll end up having. So I'll be able to do that. So then I can have a better clue just by, I think it's a 2-pounder. Well, you have the same scale. I need this. And it's huge. It's huge, especially just in case if I end up throwing the wrong size fish back in, you know what I mean? If I end up throwing, oh, this one feels a little heavier, but it's really not. You know what I mean? I want to have a sense of that. I mean, it'll be. I'm hoping I could use it, should I say. Definitely hoping that I can use that. Sunday is my goal, but we shall see. We shall see. But I don't think I'm going to do as well because my wife's not going to be there. So I don't know. So if I do bad, I can blame it on her because she's not going to be there. So she probably heard me say that. Maybe she didn't. But Saturday I will be out on the Cumberland River with Dale. If anyone else is going to be out that way, say hi if you're out there at all. I don't know. But I kind of figured there wasn't going to be a lot of people popping in tonight. Setting up a bit more normal since the weather's been good. If you do that, you won't be in the next tournament. She'll murder you. Probably.
Are you just now saying that?
What?
Did you just say something about the #1 fan?
No.
Oh, that's old? Okay,
Yeah.
I just am now seeing it. Sorry, I'm
Yep. But yeah, what I was gonna say is
You're not giving me $10 back, Goofy.
my wife's yelling at me. But anyway, what I'm saying. Well, let's hope. But you have to think about that. You actually said that the weather's nice, but you have to think the next couple nights is going to be in the 30s and 40s at night. So that water temperature is going to drop. It ain't going to be in the 70s, 75, 76 like it's been. So high is going to be what, 55, 60? And upper 30s, lower 40s at night. So that's going to keep the water temp down. So the water temp that we did get in the past, 3-4 days, the highs there.
Stop it.
But yeah, she's watching the video, so she heard me. I just got yelled at. So if you don't see me or hear from me or don't see any video from this week, it's because I just got murdered, like Daniel just said. But anyway, they should be setting up. I don't know. I don't know because I don't know that late, so it'll be hard to say. I'll just make sure that I have a swim bait. I'm bringing the wacky rig, just for that presentation. Crankbait. I'll say drop shot and a chatterbait and a shaky head. That's what I'm. Oh, and jerkbait. That's what I'm gonna end up bringing. That is gonna be my setup for this weekend, and that's what I brought last time. So let's see how that works. I mean, I'm hitting every angle. Deep. You can go. Shaky head deep. You can go swim bait deep. Crankbaits. I don't know where I'm gonna be. Where I was at the last time, I couldn't throw a crankbait because our boat's sitting at anywhere between 50 and 40 feet. Now I didn't have a crankbait that I'm getting down to like 22 feet, 23 feet, that hit any grass. I didn't bring a 1 ounce chatterbait because I don't own one anymore because I lost that one. So there's a lot of stuff that I wasn't able to do. But we shall see. But yeah, I can't wait. I'll show you how to use a jerkbait. You use that thing constantly, man. You use a jerkbait quite often. Like, I just don't got confidence in it. I just don't got confidence in it. I will bring it, but yeah, I did figure it out, but that was only reason is because that my boater was getting mad because he was getting pissed. He was getting stuck in grass, and I'm like, oh, you were just catching fish, and now all of a sudden you just stop because you got a little shallower, and then all of a sudden, yeah, I know Dale will throw them all year round, and he just ended up getting mad, and then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, well, let's just try the swim bait down there. One thing led to another. An hour later, and I just started getting bites. I mean, it was one of those feelings where it was nice because then I even had the boater. What are you throwing? I said just 3-inch Largo shad and a 1/4 ounce swim bait head. And he tried throwing it, but he had one of those Kitex, and he was not getting bit on it, and I was. I guess it was just that little bit of a difference of the tail going back and forth. Mine was a little more subtle. See, that exactly what Dale actually said there. That's his confidence lure. So that's his confidence lure right there. My confidence lure is always going to be a crankbait. If I had one lure, one set of lures, should I say, all year round, I'll be a crankbait. Some form of it, should I say. Some form of a crankbait, because I go all the way up to a speed wake that's right across the top. You can go to a wake bait, which is a little bit underneath. 1 to 3 foot diving crankbaits. You can go with balsa wood. You can go with a BX Brat. That's 1 to 3 feet. You can go with their, smaller ones and their larger ones. Just great in grass. You can go all the way down to 20-some feet. So you can hit every style depth. Oh, and I also forgot the lipless. That's also a crankbait. Know what I mean? So you have numerous ones. See, you can't throw the swim baits in there as a crankbait, which is I would say you could go with I would say with a 6-inch trace because you are cranking on it, but I don't know. But yeah, that would be my go-to. Period. Is always anything cranking. Oh, you could even go with a whopper plopper. I don't use them, but that's buzz bait. You know what I mean? Excuse me. Maybe I should have said a moving bait instead of a crankbait. But excuse me, man, the soda. But I'll probably still crankbait over just a moving bait. Period. That will definitely be my go-to. It's just a moving bait, crankbait. You can go popper. You could even go, even top water, man. You have your walking baits. You have that style plug. I mean, there's so many different variations of like moving baits. But a jerk bait, that is not mine. I lose too many. I see a bunch of fish and there's like a brush pile down there, and I'm trying to go after them down there, not thinking I got 3 sets of small treble hooks. And I hook one of those things. If I hook a branch, I'm done. So that's why I tend to stay away. Oh, and the amount of times that I throw stuff in trees, getting a jerk bait caught up in a tree, I'm not getting that out. That ain't happening. So if I get into one of my wild swings by accident and that jerk bait goes over here and it gets up in a tree, I'm not getting that back out. That's another reason. I lost a couple pretty high up in a tree already because it got caught. Either it got caught around my handle or my reels or my eyelet, and I go to chuck it and it just takes off somewhere else, and I'm up in a tree. So I lose them a lot. That's why I don't use them. But then again, I do lose, quite a few crankbaits. But to get a good crankbait and a real good, I'll say jerkbait, a real good jerkbait, you're looking at, $13. 13 on up to what, 20? I could probably get one, two, maybe 3 or 4 OG Slims with that amount of money. Or 3 other different versions of crankbaits. There's, because some are $6.99, some are $7.99, some are $9.99. All depends. So some of them you can get to. You have those Megabass Vision 110s, and then the Stunner. I think those are all in the $20 range. I have one tied on. I have a shaky head. I got one tied on. I already have one. That's just sitting down here on the side of the boat. I didn't use it, but I do have one. I didn't use it too much because he was moving with his trolling motor too much, sniping with his live active target. So he's always moving with the current and this and that. So by the time that I'd have to cast all the way out in front of me, and then all of a sudden just try, and it was just too much. I tried a crankbait. I mean, a jerkbait, you're covering water. Crankbait, you're covering water. That swim bait, I was covering water. So there's a lot of ways to cover water. But I didn't get to really throw a crankbait, though. I did for me about 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But if he don't get a bite or see anything, when we get them to a spot, he was gone. We just moved. Moved to this spot, to this spot, to this spot. Then we came to like some bluff point. Really wasn't anything there. I think I cast for like 15 minutes, just slowly moving around this rocky ledge here. Nothing, then he's gone. So I don't know how this guy's going to be. But it should be a good experience. Should be a good experience, man. Should be a good experience. But yeah, I just can't wait till it gets a little warmer, till we can get a bunch of people out, get a bunch of boats together, and all of us get out there on the lake. That should be fun, because I want to get one of those, I want to get a tournament in together with all of us to have our own little tournament, to where it's warmer, to where it's not, there's not gonna be as much of a chance of raining. You know what I mean? So that way you can hit up, let Percy Priest fill up more. That way we can hit up Percy Priest, do one there. We can do one on Old Hickory, and then we can do one on the river. Won't be as muddy. Spring is basically here. So once that water temp gets like 65 degrees, then it should be on. Now to get to 65 degrees, I don't know when that's going to be, but I'll say my guess, the end of April is my guess. But I don't know when they're filling Percy Priest back up. I haven't checked. But once it gets filled back up, I'll say give it 2 weeks, 3 weeks. 2 weeks, 3 weeks after it's filled back up, for those fish to notice that it's up, and then for them to creep to where they got to go. Yeah, it'll be a blast. We got to get enough boats out there on there so we can get You know, a group of us. Oh, my phone's going off. I don't know what it's probably from Fish Brain. I can't see, but yeah, that'll be fun to get a bunch of us out there. You know, get like a little tournament going on. We'll have to find a day to where, because everyone works different schedules, so it'll be tough. I don't know. It'll be tough because Saturdays, by that time, I'm going to have to work on Monday, so we can't do it on a Monday because I'll have to work Mondays then. All depends, though. It all depends. You know, we could probably start it. Well, no, because Dale actually works on Monday, too, so it'll be tough. It'll be tough to do. But we'll have to find out a time and date to actually get it done, though. But we shall see. But I can't wait. I can't wait till that warmer weather to start up. Especially when that green grass is sticking out of water and all that stuff. Now you're running buzz baits and spinner baits and all that stuff around everywhere. I'll say probably I'll probably have to say Big Jim already said he is in as long as he doesn't conflict with the BFLs. That'll be fun. That'll be fun to just get a group, you know, just because you don't see too many videos. Like, you really do not see too many. I mean, except if you get like I'll say only ones that you can see that a group of people that do this type of stuff is Jacob Wheeler and them. You know, Jacob Wheeler, DC, you know, his own group. They all have their own channels. They all goof off and do stupid, funny stuff, and now they got to wear like dresses and all this stuff and play games and got to wear dresses, you know, for blast off, you know, all that craziness. I mean, that's really the only group that you actually see. I mean, yeah, you have like Guggen Squad guys, but they all do their own stuff. But you don't see that around here. I think that would be fun. But we'll definitely have to wait till Percy Priest because I don't feel like paying any more for another prop, to be honest. Because there's some places that I want to go that I can't get to right now. There is no water there. When the water's up, there you go, the Battle of the Tubers. That'll work. Because when that water's up, there's some spots that I want to get to, but you got to give it at least 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you know, for the fish to get accustomed to that water being up again. Looking forward to the BFL on Sunday. There should be some top water bite. We shall see. I mean, hope. Like, I don't know the water temp. 3 Dink King. Looking for it. All right. We shall see. I mean, I'm not bringing top water yet, you know. It almost seems like I found 58 yesterday. This is Joey Williams. All right. I'm like, 3 Dink King. I'm like, who is that? Now, when you say Joey Williams, now I know who that is. But 58 yesterday on Dale Hollow. But here's my thing. You had 58 yesterday. With it being in the 30s tonight, low 40s tomorrow, low 40s with some colder rain in between these days coming up, and 40s Friday night. I don't think the temperature is going to stay. I really do not think that temperature is going to stay in the mid 50s, to be honest. I mean, it could, you know. I could be wrong. But with it being that cold at night, you know what I mean? Like, it's I don't know. It's just tough. I mean, Dale Hollow will hold his heat more than what Old Hickory does, you know what I mean? Because that's a river system, and it just flows on through there. And Dale Hollow's deeper, so it's going to take a little while to cool off and take longer to warm up. I do not disagree, but I caught them less than 3 feet of water. Oh, yeah. I believe a lot will be shallow, whether it's 58 degrees or whether it's 53 degrees. I have a feeling that they're going to be shallow just because they got that little itch. It's getting a little warmer. The days are staying longer, so they might think, all right, it's time to come up. So, yeah. Now I don't see them, being in schools and busting. I have to catch my 3 dings. Shallow and Dale Hollow, 15 feet or less. Well, I suck at deep water too. It was luck. You know what I mean? It was luck. You ask any of these guys here. We can go out to a river system. We can go out to Old Hickory Lake. We can go everywhere. I don't go deeper than 12. 12 is deep for me. I don't go deeper than 12. Period. Percy Priest. You ain't catching me at 12 feet. I'll have my boat at 10. I'm not out deep. Period. Now, when I went to Center Hill last year in the tournament, just one tournament that I went to last year, I took my boat, but I had no choice. But that was my worst tournament that I've ever had. It was because I had no choice to try to fish deep, and I don't fish deep. So it's kind of tough. Now, if I take my boat and give me some more time, out on these lakes and all this stuff, and look at the maps, that's a different story. But all right, tournaments at Center Hill this week. Well, where the heck's Center Hill? Wade, what is going on? What is going on? Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, like if you can, because you have to figure these are deep lakes for me. Like I'm really used to fishing New York and Pennsylvania. Like a deep lake is you're gonna have a spot that maybe you'll get to 110 feet is where the water skiers and where the tubers and all that stuff are at in that area. The rest of the lake, the deepest part's going to be 20 foot. And a lot of lakes, it don't get deeper than 20 foot. And then there's some of the lakes that I go fishing, like by my dad's house, it's called Leaser Lake. You can't have in Center Hill's deepest spot. Yeah, we don't have lakes like that up there. Not at all. Now, the lake by my dad's house, you can't have an inboard outboard motor. You can't put that boat on that lake. You have to have your prop and everything else out of the water. Like you literally got to have your motor out of the water on a couple of lakes up there. You can't have your motor in the water at all. Trolling motor. That's all you can run in there is a trolling motor. You got sticks everywhere. Like it's just, I'll say it's like how you see those bass on TV. Like when you catch them, they just look black. You know what I mean? Like they're so dark. Like the water's dark, but it's really not. But it just looks dark. Like if you tried to jump in on some of these, like you might end up landing on a stick. Like it's just thick. Like you use a trolling motor around a couple of these lakes. Now and then you can get to other lakes, where it's stripers galore. Where you're trolling, but you're trolling down deep. And then you can get your downrigger stuck on an old schoolhouse or someone's roof. Because a lot of those lakes are all flooded towns back there. Like they're all man-made lakes. And certain areas, like further up, I'll say northeast PA, a little further north, like they have seasons. Like you can't fish for bass. You can't fish for bass right now. You get caught fishing for bass, your license is done. You can't fish. And there are certain areas on certain lakes, you can't even fish in those areas because that's where they go to spawn. You can't, like they got buoys over there. You may not be in there with a boat. If you get caught in there with a boat, you will get a ticket. Like it's serious up there. Like you can't be in certain areas. Like you got little buoys around here, you can't be in that area from such and such time to such and such time. You get caught in there, boom, your license is done. Like, but you can go in there and it's shallow, Like you can stay outside the buoys on, when hasn't rained there in a while and everything else. And if you got really good glasses on, you can see them. but you can see the beds and everything else. But at the same exact time, you also have to watch. Once you get out a little further, now you're going to have your pickerel. You're going to have your pickerel. You're going to have your perch. You might have some pike in there. You know, certain ones you'll have, like the what I was just explaining to you before, where you can't have your motor in the water. They're loaded with tiger muskie. You want to talk about getting hammered on a spinnerbait, but you got to have it on a leader. Like, I think I ran a 50 or 75 pound steel leader. You want to talk about a muskie just slamming that thing like a tiger muskie. Like, small ones are 3 feet. Like, they just hammer that. But you got to have a trailer hook on that. You got to have a trailer hook. Because a lot of times they will actually break you off. But you have a trailer hook. But yeah, I mean, like, it's a total different atmosphere up there. Like, it's you could be coming along and you could have your 12, 14 pound test on a spinnerbait and you're shallow and not even thinking of it. I'll say May because it's still cooler up there. You're trying to get this pre-spawn bass. You know what I mean? Post-spawn, because in May is when fishing season starts. So if they're still spawning, you can fish those areas in May. But you got to watch because the pike come up there. So you're using 14 pound tests and a pike comes in there with those teeth. You're going to lose a lot of lures. A lot of lures fast because they'll just slice it. Pickerel will slice it. So like it's like a night and day difference from fishing down here. Unless, like when my dad took me fishing up in Canada, you go up through New York through the Thousand Islands, which is pretty cool to fish. There's literally 1,000 islands on this lake. But you go in there and go to Lake Charleston. All right. You're trolling with a downrigger for lake trout at 300 feet, 250 feet. Like you have some of those lakes are 400 or 500 feet up in Canada. Now you want to talk about deep water? They got deep water. And then when you go there, when you first get there, and if you don't know the area, they'll give you a map of the lake. You literally need a map of these lakes because you will get lost. Like there's so many ways to go and this and that. It's ridiculous. But and then coming down here, like deep water, I'm not used to fishing it. If I don't have to, I won't. But right now I have no choice. So I gotta learn Dale Hollow. I gotta learn Center Hill. I gotta learn these lakes because they're gonna be fished. So if I want to keep fishing these tournaments, they're gonna keep being fished there. I don't know much about Tim's Ford either, but that's not on, you know what I mean, on any of the lists. I don't know too much about that lake. Gunnersville is just grass, you know what I mean? It's not a deep lake, it's just loaded with grass. So my style fishing, lipless crankbait, chatterbaits, blah, blah, blah. My style fishing. You know, chick, my style fishing. I've never been to Center Hill. I have a lot to learn. We'll be there Monday after the BFL. Sweet. I only fished there once. That was the one and only tournament that I ever fished in that league. Normandy is underrated for what I've heard. All right. Yeah. Center Hill, I went there one time and it was horrible. From Illinois, 39 years. Took me about a year to fine tune my skills down here. It is. That's why I prefer. I mean, I prefer shallow lakes. Old Hickory is shallow. Percy Priest is shallow. You know, I like going back and forth. The only thing I don't like about Percy Priest is I lose a lot of crankbaits because the way their rocks are built, there's so much of a space in gaps. And somehow, some way, my crankbait can be a rock here and a rock here. I'll get my crankbait right down in the middle and it'll get stuck in a rock. And I've already boogered up my eyelets trying to get the crankbait out, and I just can't. Like, it's stuck. Or else it'll be a rock here and a rock here. It's real, real thin, but my crankbait will run underneath, and just my line's up here, and I can't even get it out. That's the only thing I don't like about that, because I throw crankbait so much. I lose a lot on Percy Priest. But then you go to Old Hickory, and, if you're driving anywhere, you just got to worry about dodging a log. Which It's crazy. There's logs everywhere. That's not. Smells like the divorce of loneliness in here. Yes. Welcome, whoever just said that. That was actually pretty good. That was actually pretty good. I like that one. Appreciate whoever you are that just stopped in and just said that comment. Put a little smile on my face. Nah, my wife's in here. The Bank of Center Hill. My plug knockers will get them back most of the time. Good, because I will need some. I'll definitely need some. But to all the new people, Joey, everyone else that has chimed in on here, just want to give you guys a heads up. To Wade, Kyle already knows, 3 Dink King. I finally got monetized, and I also want to say thank you to you guys too as well. I appreciate you guys watching the videos, popping in here, this and that, commenting, sharing, whatever. But if it wasn't for all you guys, I wouldn't be at where I'm at right now. So I want to say thank you to you guys too as well, since you guys just popped in here. But I finally hit my mark. I don't know, it just magically just appeared, and it said I could get monetized, and I put in for it last night, and now here it is today. So I want to say thank you to all you guys again. Appreciate it. Sticking by some of my horrible videos. I mean, if you go back and watch, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yeah, if you even go back to like my first ever video was at I didn't even know what I was doing. I just had the camera on. I literally had my GoPro on. If you scroll all the way down, it's on I think it's at Lone Branch. Yeah. It's on Lone Branch. And I was using a 6 cents flat-sided square bill during that whole time, I think. Then if you follow some of the older ones yet too, you know, I had it set up to where you could say GoPro turn on and then it turns on, but by that time I'm already reeling the fish in and all that stuff. So like some of those videos were from those videos to where I'm at today is like night and day, but some of them I don't even know how some of them even got views. Like some of them are pretty bad. Some of mine now are pretty bad. I didn't even have a video to make from Monday. That's how bad it was. Yeah, my wife even knows. See, if I knew there was a such thing called looping back then, I wouldn't have had so many bad videos. You know what I mean? It could have just been running the whole time until I hit boom, and then it only clipped the last 5 minutes of it. But if I wish I knew that I had that, that's why I was just. Then you try to edit, you know, a 2-hour video, like it was impossible. Like it was just so bad. Like it was fun. Like just the amount of growth going from there to here now is it's some funny. And the amount of help that you can find on YouTube and videos now doing this stuff is so much better. So much better than what it used to be. And people back then, they wouldn't help you. They wouldn't help you if you asked like questions. They'd give you a thumbs up, and they wouldn't even respond back to you. That's how the YouTubers were back then. I mean, look at the guys now. Will take pictures of their fish, and they will scribble out and black out their whole background. You know what I mean? Like, that's just, I don't know. That's just ridiculous. Like, it's not like you're Ben Milliken or something. You know what I mean? Like, I understand why he actually does on some. Old Hickory stunt only caught a 1.5 pound drum. I was hoping for a drum. All right. Everyone knows I can't stand drums. And normally I can't, like, wow, I just lost my train of thought. I can't stand catching drums. And I catch them a lot for some reason. But I was actually hoping for one at Orange Creek and Flint's Creek just to catch my only bass of the day in a boat launch. Yeah, like it was bad. But going on back to the pictures, like some of these guys that I see posting, like, I'm not knocking on the guy, but some of these guys posting is just, you catch a 7 pound, you catch an, and you black out the area. All right, I like get that, but who are you really? Like, that would be like me blacking my stuff out for what? For literally what? Now, like I was saying, Ben Milliken blew out a lake, ruined a lake because of his videos. Now, there's a difference. That dude ruined a lake. Like, after a couple of his videos, people noticed the spots in the lake that he was on, and there was thousands upon thousands of boaters trying to catch these big old bass, and it just went rampant. And there were so many bass boats when he could go out there and you wouldn't even see another bass boat. And then he said probably about 3 months later, just came back out there again, and there's thousands of bass boats everywhere. So someone like him can ruin it. Like, I understand that part. But for local people down here, oh, that's my spot, blah, blah, blah. All right, I get it, whatever. But that's just me. I'm not going to black nothing out. I'm just lucky enough if I do catch something great. Here it is. This is where I caught it. Throwing it back in. Hey, guess what? There's more fish here, but I couldn't catch them. There you go. Go have fun. Like, I don't got no 500,000 subscribers. I'm not getting, 100K views on my videos. No, giving out, see, there's a difference. Like, how you actually say giving out a honey hole in a creek. All right, no. I understand that part. That's a creek. You know what I mean? Like, you really don't want a little creek where you have a little hole where you can go have fun to get fished out, and someone taking the smallies out of there. That I get. That's understandable. But you have how many miles of a lake? You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense to me. For your instance, yeah, being in a creek, yeah. I'm not going to tell you what creek I'm in and where I'm at. You know what I mean? There might only be 7 smallmouth in there in this little hole. Well, I want to be able to keep on catching them and make a video. I'm not going to tell you where it's at, of course. But if I have how many miles of a lake, like, yeah. Be like, hey, I caught this up in Drake's Creek. Know what I mean? I'm up in Drake's Creek. Everyone knows where Drake's Creek is. You can see him go, oh, he's over here by this house where such and such, I know where that house is at. Cool. Like, to me, it's nothing. Like, I guess it's just me. But I just laugh. True. Like what Project said, that's 100% true. It is tough. Like, I come in here and just nail them in this spot here. Tomorrow, they're all gone. Like, you literally can go ahead and try to catch fish in the same exact spot, and they're all gone. Like, they literally moved. Except, I will say, before they got rid of the grass in Drake's Creek, they held there. As long as you didn't take them and move them somewhere else, they stayed, and you can catch them, regularly. I have videos that are posted back there where I caught, I think it was 18 pounds in 2 hours. Not even 2 hours. And it was just in a smaller cove. And if you look at a lot of my videos, they're in the same exact area over and over and over again for like months straight. Like, for months straight, I'd go to exactly the same area. And once it starts warming up a little bit, I'm going right back to that area again in Drake's Creek. And if you watch one of my other videos, I ended up catching, I don't even know how many pounds that striper was. It's 20-some pound striper. And he shouldn't have been in 3 feet of water. Yes, you go up in Drake's Creek, there's a lot of grass that is gone. Tons of grass that is gone. And the smaller coves, like, it's gone. Like I didn't even want to get in there, like in this cove, like because you had, I'll say, from the top of the water to the start of the grass was right about here, and it was thick the whole way down, 5 feet down. Then this past summer, I went back there. I could stick my pole and I could hit the mud. Zero grass. I caught zero fish in that cove. You go from making a video every single weekend around that area, every single weekend for a year, a full year in that area, to come back the following spring, summer, and now I can stick my fishing pole down in the mud all the way down, 5 feet down. Zero grass, like it's gone. Like you could walk in there and not even touch it. And I caught zero. There's nothing around the docks anymore. There you go, Wade. Winter pool, I get. They have to have winter pool back home. Like I get that. By the way, Wade, Josh from On the Real Fishing is a creek dude. He is heavily. If you watch numerous of his videos, it's all creek fishing. I mean, he does get out in the lake and everything else. Like, don't get me wrong, but does a huge portion. All right. I didn't know if he did or not, but I was just letting you know. But yeah, they definitely killed off a lot of spots. And that's my whole thing, is like I like to try to find spots on Old Hickory that still have grass, because if they do, they're gonna hold them. There's not a whole, like I try to find spots, like I really can't. I'll say probably within the next month or so it should start growing. I'm gonna go out and throw like a crappy swim jig and get to certain spots that are 15, 12 feet and just throw it down there and let it fall down to the bottom and let it get stuck and try to rip it up to see what type of grass is in there. And if it's good grass, I'm going to mark it on my graph so I know, so that area, so I can come back and actually fish, because those are the areas that are going to hold the bass. They just have been. But Drake's Creek used to be, that's all I heard when I first moved down here. Oh man, you got to go up in Drake's Creek. I went up there and it was constantly like you could go every other week and catch a 5-pounder up there. 4 pounds to 5 pounds throughout the whole summer. It didn't matter if it was 12 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock in the morning, and 6 o'clock at night. On a Saturday, after all the boaters and tubers and everything else, they were just there. I wouldn't recommend going to Drake's Creek right now, because it's to be honest, I will make a video once it starts getting a little warmer to throw my crankbait around in there, because there's certain parts where it gets 3 feet and it's rocky, and they'll push the shad up there and just obliterate them. Now, when that time comes, you will see me with a crankbait, and you will see me with a weightless fluke in there. I'll use a weightless fluke constantly, just because I can get that sucker out pretty far and just use that in there, because it's only like 3 feet, 2 feet, 1.5, and you go certain spots and your boat will hit a rock. You got to keep your motor out, because you're going to clink a rock in there somewhere. But there's buoys in there that let you know that there's danger. See, I don't know the Collins River, so I don't know too many rivers down here. I know there's one you could float down. It's called the Caney Fork. I know Stones River, coming off of Percy Priest, the Tennessee River, and that is it. Those are the only 3 rivers down here that I know. Like eventually, Caney's new backyard. See, I wouldn't mind going there and fishing in the summer because it's cold. So cold water more than likely might have some muskie or pike in it. My guess. I know there's going to be trout in there, and I know there'll be smallmouth in there. If there is any pike or muskie in the area, they will probably be in that Caney Fork somewhere. No pike or muskie. Wow. In that cold water, there's nothing in there. That stinks. That stinks. So never mind. Then I probably will not go fish there. Yeah, striper don't fight like a muskie or a pike. Like if you go back and watch that video, like I only got the end of it because I only have it. I have that video because I have it on looping for 5 minutes. It literally took me like 10-15 minutes to reel in that striper, but I had it on 12-pound fluorocarbon. So, and that was like a 20-pound striper. So you only get the end of it. But if I can reel in a 20-pound striper with a crankbait and 12-pound fluorocarbon, like that's nothing compared to a muskie because it's gone. Like it's gone. Like your line will not last. Their teeth are like this. Like they're nasty. They are some nasty fish. Especially if you end up getting a tiger muskie, but you wouldn't even come close to having those down here. Like all you would have to do is just Google some Pennsylvania tiger muskie and look at the size of those fish compared to a striper. Like they're not as heavy, but you're gonna catch them, 4, 5, 6 feet. Like there's some massive fish. That's you can hold a striper in the mouth. It's like night and day if you get a hold of a 4-foot muskie. Like you're gonna need a steel leader on there. Like they're gonna cut your line and do some damage. Like do some serious damage there. But that I do miss. But being able to bass fish all year round, you can't beat it. Cannot beat that like back home, man. You had months and months and months. Then you had to wait for April for the open day of trout season. You know what I mean? Like you couldn't fish for all this stuff all year round. There's muskie. Well, there's also apparently muskie up at Dale Hollow too. Apparently, because it's deep water. This is all winter. Oh, there you go. See, I don't fish for smallmouth too much. Because I'm a crankbait guy and I'm like shallow. So a lot of smallmouth are not shallow. I'll lie because I caught a lot of smallmouth on the Cumberland River this year. But that was all on a crankbait for the most part. All between. That just contradicted what I just said. I don't fish for smallmouth shallow. I caught them all between 1 foot and 10. All winter long. I just contradicted myself. But besides the river there, anywhere else, any other lake, you're really not going to catch as many smallmouth as I did shallow. They're just not there. The current's not there, should I say, either. Because you won't find any of those fish that shallow on Old Hickory. You won't find them on Percy Priest. Sing Creek to the Great Falls Dam, the river part of Center Hill. Hooked some muskie about 3 weeks ago in Dale. There you go. Muskie about 3 weeks ago in Dale. The little John crank. It's pretty crazy. Did you lose it? Did you lose the crankbait? Did it cut your line? Or did you actually hook it with the hook and they just bent the hooks? You lost your bait. Yeah, there. Get a hold of them. Like, you don't have anything big enough. Because you got to figure, broke the line. Because you got to figure, like, their mouths are like a minimum of like over a foot long. Just nothing but teeth. Like, you get that around. If you put that around an alligator gar, a muskie would go after an alligator gar. It would literally go after it and probably try to eat it. Like, they eat big old bass, 5-pound bass. Like, they will eat whatever. They'll eat each other, should I say. They're like bass yet, too, but they're nasty. Very, 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 very nasty fish. Maybe I'll get paired up with you to boat on Dale Hollow there this coming weekend, Joey. Maybe they'll have me in your boat. We'll have to wait and see because I have no idea who I'm getting paired up with yet. Well, what I do know is where, well, not where, because I don't know where the heck he was going, but on his Humminbird and his mapping to where the river channels were to where he fished, that I do know. Now, where he fished at, I do not know. But I will say where he did fish, you know, just to give you in case if you're going up early to pre-fish, check it out, dude. Just check it out. Any of that deep water in the channel somewhere, there's a high spot on either side that's maybe 30 feet, 20 feet. And every one that we stopped at had grass on it. Like, and he was just going back and forth. Damn. Yeah, they were all in the grass. Like, I literally stopped filming him. Like, I was getting that frustrated. After he caught 4, I just stopped filming him. Like, he literally had probably, I'll say, 12 scoreable bass before I even caught my first one. He had 12 on a jerkbait. Like, I literally got tired of filming him. So I just kept it rolling. Like, I'm just like, what, this whole video is going to have him 12 fish? So, like, yeah, every single spot that had grass on, he ended up catching fish on. I only did toward, once it got around lunchtime until I figured out what the heck he was doing. But every single one. .26-inch hybrid. That's a nice size hybrid. See, I don't fish for those either. Like, I see like Brian Carpenter and all them fishing for those hybrids and all that stuff. Like, that's just not my style of fishing. Yeah, I mean, it looks fun. But, that's just not my style of fishing. I like give it credit because people want to go out and catch some big fish. I like get that, and those are fun to catch. And they do catch them on smaller baits, which is pretty neat. Yeah, I did hang in there, but, I would never have realized, I would never have switched doing what I was doing because I was trying everything. And I was throwing my swim bait. I would never have switched up doing what I was doing until he started getting frustrated. Like, if he didn't get frustrated at getting stuck in the grass, it would never have dawned on me. Like, it was just kept going right over my head the whole day. I got the one on the jerkbait and I couldn't get another bite because of where he had me sitting in a boat. So the grass is up here. Here's his live active target. He's fishing this grass up here. I'm back here. We're deep water. There's zero grass here, like back here. But once I realized what he was getting, I'm looking at the map. This grass patch is long. We're only here. And it goes all the way up here and all the way back here. So I was able to throw on an angle back here and able to get down to the grass. Just throw it out as far as I could and just let it fall. Once I noticed how he was getting mad and I looked at his electronics and I'm like, oh, dude, this is real long. Every single one that we went on was long, and I could cast to where that grass was. But I didn't pick up on that for 4.5 hours. I'm still sitting there just throwing straight out the back of the boat. Like, literally just right out the back. Instead of standing here, throwing out sideways, I'm throwing out the back. Now, I'm not coming up halfway, and I still wasn't coming up halfway, but I was throwing directly out that way. But it didn't dawn on me for like 4.5 hours. So we're gonna see what that's like this coming weekend. I mean, I don't know who I'm gonna get. When I find out his name, I'm gonna go down the list to see where he actually placed. And, it's not my place to say, but, what I mean? Like, if he's down there and he had, like, zero fish and, like, didn't really catch anything, I'll be like, hey, I'm not trying to be, an idiot or anything, but, this is where it was the last time, it was 54 degrees, and this is where this guy fished at. Dude, don't even get caught being up there next to him. Don't ever get caught up there, dude. You will get disqualified in a heartbeat if someone rats you out. If someone sees you on the front of that boat, you're done. You're done, because I heard so many people talking about that. So many people talking about that, how a lot of the boaters are letting their co-anglers up there with them and actually fish up front. No, I'm not getting caught. I'm not doing that. A lot of people were, then you heard even the guys that were weighing in the fish and everything else and checking the bags, making sure that they were alive, and they were even saying that if you ever get caught, don't, because you're done. Don't get caught up front of the boat. What is the purpose of that? Because it's what I would say is it's sort of like, you really can't say it's cheating, but it is. Know what I mean? Like, it is, but it isn't. Like, you can get some, like, people. So now you're up here. You know exactly where the fish are at. It's a total different way. Like, it's so much tougher being a co-angler, having to fish behind someone, not being put in a spot. But you're up there and you're both throwing, using a live active target. This, and this. Why everyone else has to fish off the back with zero electronics. Like, I don't know the exact reason behind that, but I can see why that they don't. You know what I mean? Because of forward-facing sonar, all that extra stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you can have, all right, 3 people that do it, and then the other 160 can't. You know what I mean? Like, it's now. Like, I wouldn't dare throw past right here. Where I'm at right here. I'm in that back of the boat. I could throw up. I like threw up here about where I'm actually sitting. But I didn't go past him. I threw out to the side. Fishing a co-angler is tough. It is very, very tough, because I'm used to going to spots where I would like to go to. I have my forward-facing sonar up front. You know what I mean? I can go off of all these different graphs for me, but now sitting in the back and I have to be like, all right, well, you fish here. I have to just try to figure it out. So it is tough. And if you watch a weigh-in for any of these, you will see such a huge difference from a boater to a co-angler. You will have, normally, the winning weight of a co-angler and the winning weight of a boater is a minimum going to be 7 to 8 pounds difference, I would say, roughly. I just lucked out and kept close. I was at 17, and I think the winning weight was 22 pounds. So that's at 5. I just lucked out. But you go from 17 pounds down to second place, they were at 1401. And then 1401, there was another 14 pounds, and then it went down to like 7, 8, somewhere around there. Like, mine was 6 pounds. Oh yeah, it's a lot less stressful. Kayak fishing tournaments is a lot less stressful. But there's a lot of places you can't physically try to get to. You know what I mean? You only can map out a certain area. So, I mean, kayak tournaments, yeah, but you better have specific areas where because, it's really hard to travel. Like, you're in this cove, blah, 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 and now you want to get a mile up river. You know what I mean? Like, I could just hop in a boat and go. Like, you're in a kayak, you ain't getting that mile up river. So, you have your pros and cons of kayak fishing. Like, you better know the area and try to fish a certain area that you feel comfortable with. But yeah, I mean, it's a new experience for me, so I'm enjoying it. I'm meeting some different people. Just watch how people fish. That has been my main purpose of coming here, is to learn. So I'm paying, like people pay to go out on a charter boat or whatever, go out in the lake, $100 some to go out, with these guide services. I'm paying $100 some to go out. Hopefully my guide's pretty good. I'm just going out to learn and hope to catch some fish. That's basically what I'm doing right now. And then where that goes is where that goes. Now I don't know anything about Eufaula in Alabama. I don't know anything about that lake, but when that time comes, I will go and I will study that lake and this, and this, to see what they're biting. But it's gonna be tough. I think it's in September, October area. So it'll be even tougher yet, because of the simple fact you had all summer long that those fish have been seeing lures. So it's really gonna be tough when it comes to fall. That's why fall is always the toughest, because those fish have seen lures like from spring all the way through the summer, all the way up until that time. They've seen everything. So it's tough. But this is just a learning process. I just want to learn, do what I got to do, make some YouTube videos. Maybe it'll help some other people. Maybe it'll inspire some other people to just go out and just try to get out in this field and just go do some co-angler fishing, this, and this, and see where that goes. Maybe it pans out, maybe it doesn't. I mean, I'm hoping it does, because I'd like to make a living out of doing it. And then eventually, have a decent sized bass boat and everything else to where you could just go ahead and, go out and fish, and that's your job. Just make YouTube videos, this, and this, and that's your income. And then fish tournaments, and also just take people out on Percy Priest and Old Hickory. People that really don't get a chance to go out. Like, that's my whole thing, is just I want to try to be able to give back. There's a lot of people that struggled and that are struggling now that don't have anything. So I'd like to be that guy eventually, where I can go ahead, is load up on a bunch of lose at Walmart, you know what I mean, and just, hey, you read about someone that doesn't get to go out or doesn't know too much about fishing or loves some fishing but doesn't get to go out, and be like, hey, take them out. I'm not charging you nothing. I'm just going out fishing for the day. You just want to come along and just see a smile on someone's face. That's it. Take some people out to have a good old time. That is it. Can't ask for anything else. And you see on numerous pages, there's retired vets. I would love to just take retired vets out, that might have been an amputee, have lost this or lost that, they're, something, or they're not mentally stable, or, they have some PTSD, and, maybe just taking them out in the water, just do something for them. So who knows, just give them back. So whatever I can learn during this fishing experience and these BFLs, these MLS like events, great. Learn. Maybe I progress further, get a new boat and all that stuff. Then give back. It's I spent 38 years up in Pennsylvania. That come down here, I don't know anything about down here in the South. So I mean, I've had my neighbor. I'd have this. Blah blah blah. It would be like, for instance, it would be like, I would say, if I won the lottery and I was able, yeah, you could end up meeting, your, a great friend. Know what I mean? If someone that just wants to talk. I mean, there's a lot on their mind, Someone, like I said, military guys, they always have things on their mind. So, you could just meet someone, that just never fished, and all of a sudden you got into fishing, just having a good old time. But, like if, say for instance, if I won the lotto, I'd pay off all my bills and all this stuff, and, I'd find someone that would want this boat. I'd give it to someone, hey, here you go. This boat was good enough for me when I first started this, and this, but if I want to do tournament fishing and all this stuff, this is not the size boat, I got a windshield and everything else, and this just isn't the proper stuff. You already have a boat, dude. You already have a boat. Anyway, I didn't win the lotto either. So that ain't helping anything. But, you know, like how he actually said, man, it's just experience, man. Just going out, just having a good old time. You know? I met his I met my match with him. But yeah, I mean, just go out and just have a blast. You know, that's it. That's all. I mean, there's how many times that I've gone out. Like if you don't see any videos posting from me frequently, it's because I went out and it was that bad of a day. When I make videos, it's like I'm that person. I gotta at least catch 5 fish. You know, somewhere around there. Or there's got to be 5 fish caught. 3 to 5 fish because you really can't make a video with just a fish. It just doesn't work. So like when you don't see videos posted for me, it's because I went out and I did horrible. Just like Monday, literally from 6 o'clock until 3 o'clock, I caught 1 fish. Literally one all day. Like it was just one of those days. Like it was nice out. Temperature was right. It was warm. The water temp in certain areas were 60 degrees. I just couldn't get a bite. But then again, Saturday tournaments, Sunday tournaments all day, and I probably went to the spots where those tournament guys did, and it was horrible. But excuse me, I went out Saturday and we put them in the boat Saturday. So you go from one extreme to the next. Like my buddy caught that 4 point, I think it was it 4.86 or 4 point something. And then he had a couple smaller ones, and then just the bite died. We happened to go out to the river channel, and just right off the river channel, just happened to notice there was this little rock bluff just sitting there, just this flat rock area down to 12 feet, 13 feet deep. And I just happened to drive by and I went over there and I see a group of fish just sitting there. So stopped, used my live active target, seen them all sitting there, and then that's when I started plucking off all the little ones. I missed a bunch, but you know, they were just sitting there, just right at 12 feet, just right on this ledge, and it just drops right off in the 50-foot water. They were just sitting there relaxing just on the rocks. So, you know, you just go from one instance to another, but Monday, nah. But my next video will be with Dale. Hopefully Saturday. You won't see that because I'm going to have to change my memory cards. I'm going to have to write that down because I will forget, and I'll probably erase the footage. But Saturday, if we catch anything, that won't be out until after the tournament's done Sunday. So probably maybe Tuesday, because I might go out fishing Monday. So I might go fish Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So I could probably have a lot of content coming out, or I don't have any. You know what I mean? Like, if I don't have any Saturday and I don't have any Monday, I'd be okay. Hopefully I got content for Sunday. Because Sunday's the day that matters. Well, money-wise anyway. But we shall see. But I appreciate you guys stopping by tonight. Josh for donating $10 tonight, which was pretty cool. I got to see how that worked. I had 2 people that actually hit that. I don't even know what the button is, but it just popped up and it showed that he donated $10, and my wife donated $9.99. But it was pretty cool to see. And I appreciate all you guys being in here and watching the videos and helping me get monetized and everything else. I will do whatever I can possible to give back to the group, to this, to that. Once things start picking up a little bit before the summer, I want to have that giveaway because I got to have it done. I've been talking about it, you know, when I get to this, and this. I've been talking about it. So more than likely, I set it up on here, but I might not use it. Well, no, because people aren't left-handed, so never mind. I ain't even gonna use this because a lot of people are not left-handed, so it's not fair. So forget that idea. What I'll probably end up doing is just giving you guys a heads up. I will, to make it easier like I did it the last sometimes, I will put what to do in the videos, because if you go ahead and put out blah blah blah, just make sure you subscribe this and this, random people that you've never even seen, never heard of, go ahead and subscribe to the video and try to win whatever giveaway is going on. That ain't me. I'm actually going to hide what I'm going to do in the video. So all those people that didn't watch the video are not going to know what to do. And the people that did watch the video, that have been with me, for months and months and months, that have contributed to me getting monetized, I can give back to those people. I appreciate that. But what I'm going to end up doing is I will go a spinning reel and a spinning rod. So that just dropped. So exactly, not a helium. I ain't going next. I only got one of those. But a Kistler spinning reel, because you don't got to worry about it, because you can be righty or lefty. And I will go with the Argon Series rod. But when I put that out, those are the two things that I will order. So eventually when I say, and I will have the drawing live. It'll be on a Tuesday night. I have my wife out here. And anyone that chimed in, did what they needed to do, I'm going to put all their names in a hat. So it's an easy way to draw it out here. So you can see it done live. So no one's cheating. There's no favoritism, blah, 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 blah. So I'm just going to draw it out of a hat, whoever it is. I will get with that person. And it'll be an Argon Series rod from Kistler. And I will give out and also a Kistler spinning reel too as well. But the only thing that the person that wins, I would actually recommend them to go on to see what size, because there's a lot of technique specific rods for Argon Series. It can get anywhere from a 7 foot, I think 6'9", all the way up to a 7'6". So that's virtually up to you. You can go to a light rod, to a medium rod, light, medium, heavy, medium, heavy. There's numerous different things. But that will be my giveaway to go, and then that will be directly sent from when I order it to your house. Then all I will ask in return for that is when you do receive it, please send me a picture so I can upload it of you having the rod and the reel and everything else. That's all that I ask for. But I appreciate you guys being in here again, sticking out tonight on Tuesdays. I like my Tuesdays when it's a little more relaxed. I don't have to get into too much of this or that, what I'm doing. There's more talking. There's more interaction back between people when you start talking about different things, because then you get more and more people chiming in the chat. But I appreciate everyone being here tonight and hanging out. And I will hopefully catch you guys this weekend. Joey, I'll probably see you this weekend. Kyle will not be there. He's skipping this BFL event, MLF event, whichever one that you want to say, however you want to say it. But I appreciate all you guys, and I will talk to you guys. Hopefully, I'll let you guys know Saturday how it all goes, because even if I don't put that out, Saturday I will see you, Dale. I will get with you probably Friday. We're gonna head out on the Cumberland River / we're gonna go up Stones River and go see if we can pick off some largemouth or some spots spawning up there, because I think that's probably going to be the calmest area. So I'm going to throw some wacky rigs and all that stuff around Saturday before I come back and spend some time with my wife before I got to leave and drive all the way out to Dale Hollow and just stay there for the night. But hopefully you guys will see a video of, what all goes on Saturday. Hopefully it's a decent one. I mean, if you don't see anything, then I didn't do too well. But I will have pictures. I will have a video of that day, no matter what, whether how bad I do. Yes, Dale. Where am I staying at? Dale Hollow? I don't know. My wife booked the room. It's just right off that road somewhere. I don't know the exact place. Off that real long, windy road it takes you back to. It literally just kicked me off live for some reason. That was crazy. But anyway, I'm back. But that real long windy road that takes you to get back to where we put in at, somewhere out when we get out to the road, it's somewhere close. I don't know the name, but I could probably give you the name. I'd have to go ask her and I could message you. But hopefully I put out a little bit of a video Saturday after that event. But other than that, I appreciate you guys stopping by, and I will catch you guys later on. To you guys that I will see Sunday. I'll see you, Dale, Saturday, and I will talk to you guys later on this week. And as I said before, I appreciate you guys, man. You guys have a good night, and you guys take it easy and have a good rest of your week. I appreciate all of you guys. Have a good night.